morning, sir.
Hi Ayush, many congratulations.
Thank you.
So rank 15.
Yep.
So you got as expected or expected something good or didn't expect it at all?
I didn't expect this at all. I thought
No.
I will get like 500s or 1,000. I didn't expect this.
Oh, that's so nice then.
Yep.
That's what you call an achievement. If you are expecting rank 1, rank 5, rank 10 and you get 15, somewhat you get disheartened. But you didn't
Yep.
expect it at all.
I
So
didn't.
how's the feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. Really satisfied with my performance.
Okay.
Hmm.
So Ayush, you have seen, is this a first exam that you have appeared or have you given any other exam?
No, this is my first time.
First one.
Yeah.
And the first one, rank 15,
Hmm.
things settled. No. Okay. So many congratulations from the DBMCI family. And
Thank you.
we are proud of you. You have made us proud. Okay,
Thank
so I want you to introduce to everybody, right? So that we can have certain questionnaires from you so that you can guide your juniors as well, colleagues as well. So please introduce yourself to everyone.
you. I'm Ayush Agarwal. I'm an intern from Maulana Azad Medical College. Uh, I gave this year's INI-CET and I scored a rank of 15. And that's it.
Okay. So INI-CET exam was, full of ups and downs. So many
Mhm.
repetitions, so many errors, and many students were not satisfied with the level of exam they were expecting from the aims. Okay. So how did you went through it when you were sitting in the exam? What were the thoughts that you were having?
Uh, I was quite anxious to get it over with. I mean, I found the level of the exam to be more difficult than the previous years. So I had done the previous year questions of AIMS and of PGI, and I didn't expect. I thought that the questions will be repeated, but like essentially no questions were repeated, and I found it more difficult than the previous years.
Okay.
So
So as per your opinion, the questions were pretty difficult, but
I
yes,
thought so.
yeah, you thought so. Okay. So how did you prepare yourself for this INI-CET? Was aims in mind only, or were you planning to give the upcoming NEET also?
I was thinking that if I did well in this exam and if I get aims, then I would not give need. But I didn't think that I would get such a great rank. So I was not mentally prepared for this. I thought that I would have to give NEET in any case.
Okay.
And yeah,
So Ayush, you have been using the TND sessions, vibe session, LMRPs of DBMCI. So just wanted to know that how you have utilized these three things to, they made a part of your preparation. So I just want to know how they played a role or how you have used them basically so that everybody else can use them well.
I basically used the grand test series that DBMCI had, and
Okay.
I participated in the 3 or 4 grand tests that were conducted on all India level uh, 2 months back. The vibe sessions and those things. So
Okay.
they were really. I found them to be difficult, and that helped me boost my preparation to the upper level. So I thought they were quite good. The grand test series.
So what I feel, what you want to convey basically is that giving test is an important part of any of the PGME exam that you are preparing for, whether it is
Yes.
INI-CET or All India Next or whatever it is. So giving test.
Hmm.
So one important thing I would like to know you from here that you said the grand test you were giving, you find them difficult. So difficult means that most likely what I understand as a teacher, as a faculty, that when some student is saying it was difficult, that you want to tell that you were not aware of that topic or probably the concept was not clear. So when you came across certain type of questions, some those type of questions, how did you introduce them or added them into your notes or what? How did you utilize them? Means you were making some notes out of it or what?
The concepts which were new to me and the questions which I had done wrong, the explanations given were very lengthy, and I found them to be quite useful because they were very elaborate. So they were not like one-liners. So I could really understand what the question was about and why I had marked it wrong. So the new information which I learned, I made flashcards out of them and I just revised them before the exam. 1 week to 10 days before the exam, I started revising the flashcards which I had made.
So that's wonderful. You made the flashcards so for quick revision purpose basically.
Yes.
Okay. So that is about the grand test. What about the vibe session, the image based session that you have attended?
I attended the vibe grand test, I think.
Okay.
So the the grant test which had 300 to 200 images, I think, and that was quite nice. I There were many images which I hadn't seen before, and which I found to be important later on.
Okay.
So I added them to my flashcards.
So how would you like to recommend your colleagues or juniors to use the LMRPs and all? LMRP is a one-liner thing and quick revision of all the subject. So how would you like to, advise the people to use them?
I think you can start going through them, like they're for quick revision. So if in the end you don't have enough time to revise notes and all, then you can start going through them and like do them for the subjects which you find difficult and which you think that are weak for you. So I did that, I think. Yeah.
Okay, this is what you did in present time. Now I want to know the origin, the starting. When did you start actually preparing for the exams, and how did it came to my mind that I'm just going, uh, did you have some confusions whether I am going in a right way? I just want to crack the AIMS exam. Like you said, if I had this in my mind that if I'm able to crack AIMS, I'm not going to, give the All India event. So obviously some people have things in mind. So how
Mm.
did it all started? When did you started your preparation?
I started it on the start of my internship in January itself. So I
Okay.
started reading and revising at that time, and then I started giving grant tests from the DBMCI app also around that time only, and that is it. Mostly I did my revision and the grant tests, and so if you give grant tests consistently, and then you see your rank become better consistently. So that is what I would say is the best strategy. I
So
mean,
what do you
you
so what do you say? What do you suggest that whether you were making your own notes also, or you were always in a habit of making flashcards for quick revision? So means what do you convey? You
Mm,
started in January, and before the next January, you have cracked a exam. That was first of its kind of exam, right? That's a very very big achievement, right?
thank you,
Anybody would be proud of you, definitely. But
thank you.
it's a commendable job. In less than 10 months or 11 months, you have done it. You started and you finished, right? So tell me some important points in your these 10, 11 months of preparation that actually were the turning points for you to crack this exam in the very first attempt.
First of all, I started making flashcards this year, like 7 to 8 months back. So that I found to be quite useful. And I started noting down in flashcards or in elsewhere
Hmm.
the all the questions that I did wrong and all the new concepts which I learned from the granters. And that I think is the most important because you don't want to repeat the same mistakes you made in the past grant test in the next grant test. So this should what your aim should be. So to improve with each grant test.
Okay. And
And
how you were utilizing that? How were you doing? Let's suppose you made a mistake in previous grant test, and
mhm.
how you were improving that in the next grant test? Means you had 1 week in between, right? You had certain time in between. So how you were doing it? Means you have done some mistake in certain topic. So were you going through all the topic? Were you going through all the standard textbooks, or what? What was your strategy?
I just went through the mistakes I made. That is it. Otherwise, I would just revise my notes and stuff. But
Mhm.
the additional things which I learned, I would just go through them at the last moment before the grant test, so I would not make the same mistakes I did last time. That is that is what I thought the purpose of a grant test is, just to help you each time fill in your gaps in your knowledge.
See, what you're telling is a very, very quick method. And I feel that many, very few of the student can actually do this, what you have done in 10, 11 months. So I feel that in 10, 11 months, doing such a big job, commendable job, there is some role of social media also, isn't it? What do you say? Have you used social media for your preparation? Yes or no? Means it should be an honest opinion so that the people, they're running after so many groups. I should join this also, that also, means everything I should join. If you have you used the social media platforms?
Not really. I mean, I wasn't that active up on social media. I just did my own studies from the
Okay.
apps and my notes and from the textbooks, I think.
Right. So
Yeah.
in eGurukul, I'm sure that you might have seen the lectures of some of the faculties at least. So, when you are making your own flashcards, okay, sometimes it happens as a student, few things, and at a point, it happens, our mind gets stuck. So
Mhm.
how you have utilized this app purpose? Because many of the people, in market also, they started saying app is not good. But definitely when there is nothing in this lockdown period, DBMCI Live is one of the app, eGurukul is one of the app. So how you have utilized the app for your preparation? Please focus some light on that also.
Uh, I didn't really watch the lectures, but I did the question bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I partially went through it in some subjects which I thought I was weak in, obs gynae and anesthesia and anatomy and that sort. So I think the question banks were very well crafted, and the questions were like they cleared some of my concepts which I was lacking in before.
Okay.
So I think that is quite useful.
So you were looking at the discussions, the question bank, and then were you making the flashcards also same time,
In
or
some of the
just
question banks, yes.
some of the question when it was not what you have read? So if
Yes.
something new comes, you make a flash. Do you have some flashcards to show to all the students right now? Are you carrying some?
I actually have them on my phone. I can't show you right now. I made them on the phone.
Phone only.
Yeah.
So do you
On,
make or take a screenshot, or just you write on the phone?
I write on the phone. I have an app, and I write down the concept or the question, and then I write down the answer.
That's also wonderful. One phone for every purpose. Right. So anything you would like to suggest, because INI-CET, this was, I feel that definitely when the next session of second exam of INI-CET comes, definitely the examiners and the body taking exam will be more prepared. They will be taking more cautions. But what exactly you would like to recommend to your juniors who are targeting only mid-year INI-CET exam? Anything special that you would like to tell them?
Start right now and be consistent and keep giving grand test from the beginning itself. Even if you don't get a good rank in the grand test in the beginning, don't get disheartened, because that is bound to improve as you keep on filling in the gaps, So that is what worked for me. So I would just advise that to everyone.
Okay. Second is one important question that I am getting repeatedly from many of the students. This was, I'm telling you, about 15 days back. Okay. So many students told me, sir, my 3 subjects are left. My 4 subjects are left. And now in January, we are going to have this exam, the All India exam, NEET exam. Okay. And now suddenly the exam has been postponed to April, tentative dates. So we are waiting for the final confirmation, but tentatively it is shifted. Many students are losing hope. Many students are getting disheartened. So I want you to, give the boost of morale of those students and tell them how it should be done, so that those who are targeting the NEET exam, still they were having the exam in January. You can say fortunately or unfortunately it has been shifted to April. What would you like to recommend to them? How should they proceed from here now if the month is going, if they are lacking the confidence, or if they were not able to complete some of the subjects till now? What should be their strategy for revision for the next 3 months? What do you suggest them? Because something coming from the mind of a topper obviously helps everyone, right? Had you been in this situation, you yourself have been in this situation, exam suddenly postponed just 1 month back of the exam, and the exam is postponed, what would have been your strategy for the upcoming next 3 months, let's say? So tell me, what would have been your plan?
I think I would just prefer to revise all the stuff that I have read earlier. So I would, if I have 3 months left and if I have already finished my syllabus, then I would revise at least 2 times. So I take 2 months to revise one time, and then one month to do the last revision. And then in the last 10 days, just go through as quickly as possible through your weak areas and through the flashcards and anything that you've made, which will help you revise later on. So just revise.
So that's a wonderful idea he has given. If you have finished once, right? So you are able to cover all the 90 subjects in 2 months time. In the next 1 month, in 20 days, you should be able to cover majority of the things. In last 10 days, only go through very, very quickly through the weak areas, right? That is for the students who have completed it once. What about those who were like, disheartened that I have not been able to cover up a few subjects, maybe some 2, 3 subjects? What should you advise them right now? What to do? Start revision or start the 2 or 3 subjects? What do you suggest? What you would have done at this point?
I would have started the 2 or 3 subjects, because if I have not even read them once, then I would prefer to read them at least. I would just sensitize myself to the concepts and the things that are given in the other subjects, the 2 to 3 subjects which are left. I would just do that, and then I would start revising, because I don't want to revise another subject repeatedly when some of my subjects are already not completed. So
Guys, what Ayush just said, I just want to make it more clear and elaborate that it is never ever advisable to go in exam with any of the subject left. Do not take any of the subject lightly, that this subject is carrying less weightage and this is not going to hamper my rank. even a single question hampers the rank to a lot, a big extent. So never ever feel like that I'm just leaving the subject, 5 question subject, so it won't hamper, it will do. No subject is a single subject. Every subject has got an overlap. Ortho has got an overlap with anatomy, with medicine, with radiology. Similar with other subject as well. The pathology, the pharmacology, physiology, medicine, everything is overlapped. So don't try to leave a subject. What is I said, I just 100% agree with that. If you are left with some 2 or 3 subjects, this is a high time that the you can say luck has given you opportunity to cover up those 2 to 3 subjects. So cover them up and then go for the revision as quickly as possible as he has recommended. Right? That is a very, very fair decision that any of the person who's trying to or who is just targeting the NEET exam to crack it for a particular rank will do. Right? That should be the strategy. So for both of them, we have talked. Okay. And tell me something. See, every student has got a secret. Now you have cracked it, you have made it, and now other than flashcard, I cannot believe that only flashcard help. Tell me something important that was a part of your this preparation. So other than flashcards, what exactly you would recommend that it is must? One is GT grant test, you said. Improvisation in the grant test is other one. And to improvise, you can do whatever you want. You can fix the papers on your wall. You can do some take some download some app and make your posters or anything you would like, right? Anything special that you would say to read or to when you are left with certain subjects. Some people say I'm left with short subjects. Is there a trick that you applied to cover up the subject in short time or to revise the subject in short time? Is there something like that that you did, or just it was a way your things were flowing and you were flowing with them that I'll just do like that only? Was there something that was in mind that I have to do certain things in particular, time period? Something in your mind you were keeping like that, a schedule?
Uh, Not a rigid schedule. I just had vaguely in my mind that I need to finish my first reading of the subjects by at least 1.5 months before the exam.
Okay.
Then 1 month in the in the 1 month before the exam, I finished first division. In the last 10 days, as I told, I finished the second division.
Yeah.
That is, I think, that is what I did. And for the short subjects, I had read them before in final year, but not that well. So I knew what was I knew the basic concepts. So I just went through the notes again and again. I didn't uh, try to remember each and everything in the first read itself. So as you keep on reading, as you reread and reread the subject, you will gradually increase your knowledge in that. So don't try to remember each and everything in the first go of that subject.
Yeah, that's a very, very important message what he conveyed. It is practically impossible to understand a fact in the very first go, and it is practically again impossible to keep everything in your mind. So it is always about improvising, and that happens when you try to revise the concepts and the things. Obviously, when you're in the first year, second year, and if I ask you to remember the pathologies of the orthopedics, if I ask you to remember the metabolic disorders, obviously things will go here and there, right? Because they are not coming in your daily practice. But when you revise them again and again, when you see your clinics, right? So they will definitely be improving your part. How much do you think the roles of clinics and all have you been? You obviously you are in a good reputed college, and you might have seen a good number of patients as well. So what do you think is the role of your clinics here in your INI-CET exam?
I think they're really important, as they, I mean, you cannot become a doctor by reading only theory. So clinics are as important as your theory. And they also gave me, since I did well in final year also, I did well in my clinics. So I had the confidence that if the question was on things such as examination, medicine examination, or orthopedics or surgical examination, I didn't need to read that again and again, because I knew I had done it very well in my final year itself, and I just left it. So I knew I could, if a question was given on that, I could do it.
See, guys, please note this point. It is very, very important. I would say it's the most important point what he has till now. When you have done something in your final year, when you have done something in your clinics, you can very well skip that part. I'll give you one example from orthopedics: Thomas test, anterior draw test, Lashman test. When I teach them in classes, everybody, every student asks me, sir, please show us a video how to do that. That means you have never tried to do it yourself. So if you have an opportunity, if you are in the final year, if you have the privilege to be a part of clinics in your wards, go there and try to do them on your own. If you do them like Ayush did, he tried everything on the patients. He had learned. So there is no point in going for the theory of that particular thing. He can very well leave the sports injury part. He know how to do the Lashman, how to do the meniscal test or something. So you can very well skip that. And that actually saves a lot of time. You want or you don't want, you will have to be there in that ward for 3 hours. So why not to utilize that 3 hours for those important tests? Utilize them to, express whatever you know on those patients. And that will definitely save a lot of time when you're doing your preparation in the exams. Right. So I would suggest you, recommend you, if you're in final year, if you're in mini prof, looking at this interview of Ayush. So please take this, take home message that in wards, be attentive, be patient while examining the patient, and try to do maximum number of tests you can, so that you can remember the things forever in your life. Right. That's a very, very important message. So that's a point about clinics. Right. So Ayush, do you think that in last year exam of AIMS, last I'm talking of 2019, whomsoever we interviewed, they said, sir, you know, uh, I was in clinics. So I was able to see so many things of anesthesia, emergency trolley, and so on. Was that a scenario this time also? That you have been into clinics, that's why only you were able to answer? Or that was not a case this time? That was a general routine emergency or OPD or IPD that was asked this time. It was not any something special that you can find. Is there something like that?
I think there were some questions, I don't remember exactly, but I'm sure there must have been questions which I could do just because I had attended clinics.
Clinics. So
So
important.
I think there was a question on anesthesia in which they had shown a ventilator without a monitor.
Okay.
So that I think I had been to the OT, I had seen the machine, so I think I could do that because of that only.
So everything is important, guys. Being in clinics, being attentive in clinics, examining the patient in wards. And if you do so, I think most of the job is done. Remaining part will be theory, and that you can improvise by revising, and then definitely giving the grand test, looking at the last minute flashcards or revision points that you have made for yourself. And obviously, you've got multiple sources for images also, like Vibes we have. So definitely that's a mixed blend, which makes you compatible for any of the exam that you're preparing for. That's a good effort. And your strategy worked well, right, Ayush? You started in January and with no definitive schedule, something a rough vague schedule in the mind. You kept on doing the subjects, so that is commendable, I think. Right. So take home message, everyone. We congratulate Ayush for his rank 15. Ultimate, example. Like you start in January and before next January you are in AIMS, right? So that is a commendable thing. Commendable. So we congratulate you, Ayush, and best wishes from the DBMCI family to you for the rest of the life ahead. So do the best, keep shining, buddy, and definitely we are waiting for you in the studios as soon as the situation permits. We'll definitely meet, right? So thank you so much for guiding all of us, all the juniors. And if anybody requires you ever, definitely we'll connect with you again, and we'll connect you to the student as well, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ayush.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much, team.